Alright guys, hello, we're back. We just finished the first fight in the Project Triangle Strategy demo, and I guess we're going to move on. We're going to figure out what's going to happen next. So I guess we're zooming back in on the castle. And I think the last thing it said is that we were retreating to the city to the right. After Maxwell got gotted.
Your
Looks like we get to view this scene.
Siblings, Lord Thalas and Lady Erica, have arrived, my lord.
They look exactly the
Thank
same.
you for the escort. You may go now.
If there is anything else that you require,
I like how these guys all look like vampires.
you need but say the word.
In that case, I would have a bottle of the realm's finest wine and a serving of fresh fruit delivered to my quarters.
But of course,
does sound nice.
lady, I shall have the servants fetch it at once.
Ever eager to please, isn't he?
I believe the word you're looking for is sycophant. Congratulations on bringing Glenbrook to its knees, brother. It's a thing of beauty, what you've
They're all the
accomplished.
exact same.
I trust you're already seeing to that fuss outside the castle walls?
Of course.
The other domains are putting up little in the way of resistance. Lord Telior trembles in his
I like
seat
how their
within the
names are
stronghold.
Erica,
Lord Fox was oblivious to what was.
How easily
The-
the three
Thalas
great
and
houses of
Gustadolf.
Glenbrook break under your iron boot, brother.
Wolford is the last to hold out, but Avlora will deal with them.
Hmm.
Prince Roland will be in our hands before long.
is Avlora another sibling?
Speaking of royalty, brother, I would have thought Cordelia would be dead or rotting in jail.
I like that spelling of jail. Final Fantasy XIV uses that too. It's a very old spelling of the word jail.
Yet here she sits on the throne. She looks less a vanquished princess and more a queen.
That is precisely what I would have her be.
Whatever do you mean?
Once things have calmed, I shall assume guardianship over her and have her crowned. A few days hence, Regna will be executed. I've already informed Patriat as much.
So the wise and benevolent King Regna
Interesting.
meets his end at last.
Father.
Okay, we get to see a little bit of the city view, see what the people in town are thinking. Are they gonna execute the king in front of the townspeople?
Subjects of Glenbrook, I am Gustadolf, Archduke and High Commander of the Grand Duchy of Esfrost. Hear my words. The
I figured that'd be more
sins
like a
King
boo than a
Regna has
cheer.
committed against us, and against you, his own people, are grievous indeed. 3 decades have passed since the end of the war. In the years since, we have all done what we can to rebuild our nations. The opening of the Grand Norzelian mines was to be the dawn of a new age. An age where our 3 nations would work together for the peace and prosperity of all. But King Regna spat in the face of that glorious dream.
I wonder how much
As
the
our
people are
engineers worked
like
tirelessly
believing
to put
this.
success within reach, your King Regna schemed in the shadows to seize control of the mine for his own profit. And when Dragan Esfrost, my dear cousin, and the man tasked with overseeing the mine's operations, became aware of this plot, King Regna had him assassinated in cold blood.
Like, do the people believe this is true, or are they just kind of going with it because this guy's here?
In doing so, he betrayed not only my own nation and the holy state of Hyzate, but you as well. The very people who were to share in the wealth the mine would bring.
I mean, the speech he's giving is very, like, convincing. Or it's, like, not convincing, but, like,
And
it's
so we
damning,
were
like,
left
it makes
with
him
no
sound like a
choice
villain.
but to march on Whiteholm Castle and put an end to Regna's treachery by force. Our actions were born of a righteous duty to avenge Dragan's murder and this odious betrayal of this historic accord. between our nations.
I like him as a villain because it's not like he's just like, blah, I'm evil, I'm gonna take over your city. Like, he's making it sound like the king is a bad person, which
What say you,
is
King
definitely more
Ragnar?
effective than just being
Do you
like, I'm your
deny these
conqueror.
charges against you?
I do not. But I beg of you,
But why is he saying
spare my
that?
children.
Subjects of Glenbrook, your traitor king admits his guilt.
I wonder if he's
before you.
admitting it because he doesn't want the townspeople to revolt and get killed.
The punishment for these crimes is death. Off with his head.
Or because he just doesn't want Cordelia to die.
Roland, Cordelia.
That knight dude with the sword has a good looking sprite. I wonder how graphic this is gonna be. Okay, just red screen. Okay. I wasn't sure because the game had like the blood puddles and everything, so I wasn't sure if they were gonna go real into that.
Just days after the fall of the Crown City,
Okay.
King Ragnar of Glenbrook is beheaded before his subjects. The death of this kind and benevolent monarch plunges the realm into confusion and chaos. With the king perishes an all
He
too
probably-
short-lived era of peace.
Because if he was like
And
well
in its
loved by
place,
everyone, he probably
One of bloodshed
didn't want to say that he didn't
and
do it and have like the
turmoil.
townspeople revolt and get killed into like a rebellion kind of deal. Which I imagine is what would have happened. Oh, there's like greens. Okay. So they are these like side quests and the red one's the main quest probably? One's got like a dude. Maybe gets us a new ally over there. Let's check this one out first.
Whatever is House Telior to do, with King Ragnar gone, we must find a way to preserve ourselves. Landroy, that proud fool, will no doubt fight to the bitter end. But House Fawkes alone is no match for the Grand Duchy. Yet if House Wolford were to fight at their side, they say Prince Roland is in Wolford's charge. If this is true, there's a good chance they will join the fray.
Yeah.
Or will they? The Wolfords may choose to ransom the prince to Esfrost in return for amnesty for their own domain.
It's a word I've never
If it
actually
comes
heard
to that,
pronounced. The domain.
Esfrost will either kill the prince and princess, or use them as their pawns, and Glenbrook will fall. Bending the knee to Esfrost may be our only hope if we are to live to see tomorrow.
Okay. If that's all this is, that's kind of interesting. It lets you kind of get a viewpoint on what other like important figures of the world are thinking. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. Let's go ahead and check that out. I apologize, I didn't read actually the description for that last one, but this one is Lord Landroy Fawkes, King Ragnar's loyal bannerman since the days of Salt Iron War, received the news of his liege's grim fate. This is Fawkes' domain outskirts. I like his cape.
Your Grace, House Fawkes has failed you. I have failed you. High House, damn it all! When you needed us most,
This is a
we
cool
were
looking
not
little
there
like
to answer
town
the call.
with the pulleys and stuff.
How did we not see what they were plotting? How did we not know to go to your aid?
I like this dude.
No. Cursing our fate will not bring you back to us. We must focus our efforts on the one who might yet save Glenbrook from downfall. We must protect Prince Roland with our lives.
Hi, dude. This guy seems cool. We got Citadel of the Sands. News of Glenbrook's fall reaches the Citadel of the Sands in the far-off holy state of Hyzand, where a great battle of the Salt Iron War was fought many years ago. I really like how this like fleshes out the world. You get to see a bunch of other people.
Minister Sorsley. What is it
Dear
this
God,
time,
that guy's
Booker?
head. Conehead, man.
We've just received word that S. Frost has launched a surprise invasion of Glenbrook. Whitehome burns as we speak.
What's this?
The Crown City has fallen. King Regna was beheaded, and it is said Crown Prince Franny also perished in the fray. Prince Roland has fled to the domain of House Wolfort, with the Grand Duchy's army in close pursuit.
Goddess forbid. What could the Archduke be plotting? And what did the others think of the matter? At any rate, I must speak with His Holiness at once.
Minister, if I may assuage you, I propose
A lot of good
that
words.
perhaps this
The vocabulary in this game's
situation may
great.
yet play to House N's benefit.
Our benefit, you say? Indeed. Indeed.
There's a very
You may
weird
have the right
effect
of
as like
it.
the screen scrolled and it does like the square thing as like the person very slowly turns. It's very jarring if you just like look at it.
My dear Booker, whatever would House N do without you?
But it's a really cool effect how they can show them like very slowly turning by having their sprites and pixels just shift slightly.
Send a raven to His Holiness. Tell him that his faithful servant Sorsley would humbly beg an audience.
At once, Master.
I have a feeling that guy's gonna be a villain. That's kind of the picture they're painting right there. Oh, my bad. I clicked that without reading it again. It was Central Hyzant. I'm just so interested to get to these scenes that I forgot to completely read it. That person has a pretty unique
Doctor,
sprite with the
we
pink
have
hair.
2 patients. Both with extraordinary fevers. The Rosellen is unresponsive.
Well, I can't tend to
Okay.
both unless you can give me 2 more pairs of arms.
Let me help. I've just completed my training and I'll do whatever it takes to save them.
Are there no real doctors left? Fine, come. We're losing precious time.
Okay.
Leave
Where's
the
this guy?
Rosellen. We must prioritize the believer.
Your Holiness,
Believer, eh?
As you wish.
But the Rosellen will die unless we do something.
Do they not teach the order of things in school these days?
So what if they do? What does the order of things have to do with saving lives?
Not all lives are weighted the same. You would do well to remember that.
Quickly, Medina, these people are dying as we bicker.
Interesting.
I couldn't save him. Orders or not, I was the one following them. It's all my fault.
Where are you going? Medina!
Interesting. I thought the guy with the pink hair was going to be a new ally, but nope, he did.
I beg your pardon, Lord Serenoa, but a doctor from the Ministry requests an audience.
Doctor character?
My
Medina's
name
going
is
to join us?
Medina. I've heard much about your house and simply had to see it for myself.
What insolence is this?
Stand down. Pray tell, what brings you before me?
It is said House Wolfert possesses a relic known as the Scales of Conviction. Is this true?
It is. We turn to the scales for guidance in times of trouble.
Then, I wonder if they might guide me forward as well. I had a crisis of confidence. A man was counting on me to save his life, and I let him die. I cannot
Not
let this
exactly
happen
true.
again. I wish to save all the lives I can, regardless of country or creed. Pray grant me the chance to consult the scales, that I might walk the righteous path.
The scales are merely a tool to an end. They are not a magical window into the future.
See, I thought the scales were like not an actual like
When
physical
decisions
object.
must be made, all in this house have
I
a
thought they were
say.
kind of just like
We choose as
a
best
morality
able and strive
background
to
thing, but it
ensure we
looks
chose
like they're
wisely.
actually like a relic.
You mean you you strive not to regret your decision.
That is all one can do. Forgive me if this is not the answer you sought.
Then, would House Wolford accept my aid if I offered it, my lord?
If you would serve as a doctor, that would be a boon. For we fear the war shall not end soon.
I would be honored, my lord. I would see what I could
So is she
do
gonna
to
be like a
rewrite
healer, or is she gonna be like a
Then let
person
us
who
walk the
chosen the
path
encampment
together.
to help with stuff?
I am at your service, my lord.
Or like an actual, like, character that goes into combat? Interesting. Allies, Medina. Inspired by her deeply held conviction, Medina has joined your cause. Her skills will serve you well in battle, and she can increase the potency of items as well as use multiple items in a single turn. Okay, yeah, so she's definitely like a fighter. Alright. She's level 10, which is kind of funny because most of my people are 9, and she's only level 8. Let's see, Medina's level 10. She's got a knife. She's got HP Physic. So healing items are better. Her only actual skill is double item, which lets her use 2 items. And she can... Okay, so she's basically a Final Fantasy Tactics chemist. She has throw item. Interesting. I'm gonna quick glance at some people real quick, just kind of for my own knowledge. But we'll get into that next fight here in just a moment. Alright, Wolfort Town. Having made their escape by boat, Serenoa and his retinue finally make their way back to House Wolfort's domain. But what awaits them there?
Lord Serenoa! Oh, thank the heavens that you're safe.
It is good to be home.
Castle Wolfort is the most impregnable stronghold in all the kingdom. You will be safe here, Your Highness.
Will he, though?
I can only hope Father and Sir Maxwell are safe as well.
Benedict, there is news.
Right. That's cool. She's out, like, doing her spy work.
What's the matter, Benedict? You look as if you've seen a ghost.
Your Highness, my lord, pray try to remain calm.
He's gonna tell him that his dad was executed.
His
Well, look at
Grace
the
was
animation on that
beheaded
tree.
at the Crown City not bells ago.
Father. No. Say it is not so.
I hate to interrupt the really intense stuff going on right now, but I really like the animation of the banners. I thought they'd just be sitting still, but they're actually like billowing in the wind, and the trees are wiggling too.
Roland.
Even like the grass.
I can only imagine what you're feeling now, Your Highness. But I fear we have not the luxury of grieving. As the last living heir to the throne, there is no doubt that the Archduke will target you next.
Indeed. We must move quickly. I would seek Father's counsel.
About Lord Simone.
Huh? What is it? Has something befallen Father?
Also, Simone is an interesting name. S-Y-M-O-N.
Father!
He's apparently...
Lord Simone, what is the meaning of this?
He collapsed when he heard the news from the Crown City, and has not opened his eyes since.
You must be mad. The man was stronger than an ox.
We cannot afford to lose Lord Simone. Not now, of all times.
Father! Be strong, Father. This realm still needs you.
So very Tactics reminiscent.
I still need you. Father. Father.
Serenoa.
Is there any chance he will recover?
Our healers are doing everything they can, but none can say.
Very well.
Does that make Serenoa technically the acting king, or...?
Do
Oh,
not
hey,
give
the
up
eagle
hope,
is the
Serenoa.
Wolfort crest, I guess.
The malady will not take your father easily.
Forgive me, Roland. I can only imagine what you feel now.
I must stay strong. I cannot allow Father's death to be in vain. You too must remain composed. For Lord Simone. And for those who now look to you for guidance in his stead.
I will try.
Pardon me, my lord. I come bearing a message.
From whom?
The scout we had sent in search of Sir Maxwell returned with this.
His helmet?
Sir Maxwell's mask.
Or his mask, yeah.
Reports have it that it was found near Whiteholm Bridge.
Blood. No. It cannot be.
Yeah.
This mask was all that was found, you say?
Although I have a feeling he's not actually
The
dead.
bridge was all but overflowing with the bodies of the fallen. It was not possible to ascertain all of their identities. And the swift course of the river thwarted any efforts to search further.
I see. Thank you for the report. Get some rest. You have
It's a good
earned
way
it.
of saying
Yes, my lord.
he may be dead? Who knows?
Sir Maxwell. You too abandon me now?
Ah.
At Gustadolf's command, Esfrost musters its forces at Whiteholm Castle and commences a march on the Wolfort domain. Their aim, to seize in their clutches Prince Roland, the unwilling heir to Glenbrook's throne.
I like how the map has like the signets of the different houses. Like there's, oh, and you can, it actually tells you if you go over it. That's really cool. I kind of noticed that when I was scrolling around doing the side quests, but, and I like how that has the Esfrost banner now. So I'm guessing as you're playing the game, you know, different things will get taken over by different things, and the flags will change throughout the area. So this is all Hyzant. It doesn't have it like broken up into things like this area does. Like Glenbrook. So there's the Fox Domain, Wolfort, and that one's Tilior. Wolfort seems pretty large. But let's go in. As the Frosty Soul Army advances on Hawksroot Castle, another crisis looms large for Serenoa and Prince Roland. Hawksroost.
My lord, the Frosty army advances on us as we speak. A missive has arrived from Lord Gustadolf. It says they will stand down on the condition that we surrender Prince Roland to them at once.
Yeah, that's predictable.
We've not much time before they're on our doorstep, my lord.
Word has it that General Avlora herself heads the vanguard.
Gustadolf's not taking any chances. The scheming bastard.
Summon the War Council at once. We must take swift action.
Swift action. Didn't mean to hit A there. Is the War Council just all of our party members?
You cannot be serious about this.
It's all right, Frederica.
Are they debating handing him over?
Please continue, Benedict.
Thank you. Once more, I would ask you plainly. Do we or don't we relinquish Prince Roland to Esfrost?
I say we refuse. We owe Sir Maxwell that much.
Precisely. Sir Maxwell entrusted us with keeping His Highness safe, and we accepted.
There's no
True.
place in the realm more sheltered by the terrain than this castle. He is safer here than anywhere. And yet, if the Archduke were to march on us with an army as great as the one that took the Crown City, or, heaven forbid, a greater one,
The natural fortifications
Yeah.
of this land would work against us. Our shelter would become our jail.
So you propose that we just abandon him?
That we sacrifice his life for our own protection.
Better my life than any of yours. This is my battle. I would not see the blood of my friends spilt in my name.
But see, Your Highness, that's where you're wrong. House Wolfort's the sword and shield of the crown. You go to battle, we go with you. So it's always been.
Makes sense.
Enough! I will leave before I see your domain ravaged by fighting. It is the only way. Surely you see this, yes?
I refuse to believe sacrificing any of us is the correct path.
My lord, we cannot allow war to come to the Wolfort domain. Your highest priority must be to your loyal subjects.
Interesting. You would have me render a decision here now. The more I ponder, the more the answer escapes me, or there is case to be made for either course of action. I like how all three of them are like being indecisive, but a different way to phrase the indecisiveness. I like the third one because it's more, it's a very like, it's very of like tactical mind.
There is a case to be made for either course of action.
As the master of this domain, you and no other must decide how we proceed.
I understand that, Benedict. Prepare the scales of conviction.
I'm really interested in this, but it's gonna like...
I would hear everyone's thoughts on the matter.
Like, what do what do the scales actually do? Because it's not just like a simple thing of a morality background mechanic. It's an actual relic. It's got a scale mark, so I wonder... I'm guessing what this means is like, depending on the way you would have answered questions and done these options throughout the game, this battle might be kind of like a turning point in the story. Maybe. I don't know. As the Frosty army continues its exonerable march on Castle Wolfort, Serenor and his retinue discuss the best path forward. That's how I'm guessing the whole scales thing is going to work. I don't know if the game's story is just going to be one through story, or if it's going to have branching paths based on the options you pick throughout the game.
I will give the signal when it is time to cast your vote. I ask each of you to weigh the matter carefully till then.
Very
the
well.
Scales are just chilling up there.
To our own councils we go.
Well, Benedict's obviously going to pick to give him up. Shield Guy's going to pick not to. Our hearts are divided, but a compelling argument may yet change some minds. To sway them, I will need more information. Perhaps I should ask around town. Interesting. I would hear the wisdom of my people. Okay. Understood, my lord. When your work is done, pray speak to me once more. I will do just that, thank you. Let me investigate some more, then return when I have knowledge that might sway minds. Voting. The path of the story will be determined by the consensus of your party as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own convictions. As the player, you may cast a single vote, but you will be bound to the decision of the majority. Furthermore, before voting commences, you may speak to others to persuade them to change their mind. Whether or not your attempt at persuasion is succeeded, however, will not be known for sure until the votes are cast. The key to successful persuasion is gathering the necessary information beforehand. Head into town and see what knowledge you may glean from the people. That's super interesting. So what I want to do is I want to save and specifically see if I can like get two completely different outcomes and see what might happen. But for right now, let's explore the town a little bit. So for right now, looks like 4 are leading towards handing over, 2 are not, and 1 is undecided. It's super cool. I'm so interested in this. I like how it keeps a track of like where everyone's at right now. A terror like none other came over me when I saw the state in which you returned, my lord. Also, I just really admire this map. Got over here. Fire HP recovery pellet. There's commotion in the capital, to be sure, but it'll all be over soon. The Dawnspire will see to that. Aye, the sun will set on Glenbrook till Sir Maxwell falls. Ha! As if that would ever happen. Well... yeah... Don't want his noble sacrifice to be in vain. Learn more about the Dawnspire sacrifice. I don't mind to make to my way to the capital, but the high road's blocked. What's the meaning of this anyway? I've got mouths to feed at home. HP recovery pellet. No one is in their houses for how late it is. Also, this house just doesn't have a door. Which is kind of funny. I shudder to think there's a bounty on Prince Roland's head. The boy has always been a friend to the people. It says he's to be delivered alive. I'd wager they have no plans of executing him, at least not anytime soon. I should let the others know of this. Is it true? Has Esfrost attacked the Crown City? How could the High Houses have let this happen? And this, on the eve of a new age of harmony. What could the Archduke be thinking? Long ago, I heard rumors of secret traps that dot the Wolford domain. If the tales are to be believed, they serve to make quick work of any intruders, though I can't help but wonder, why keep such a valuable weapon so secret? Secret traps? It's hard to say what this might mean for us. They might as well be employed to give us advantage in battle, but at what cost to our own? Interesting. Got some money, I think that was, I guess? The Salt Iron War had just broken out in earnest when Acefrost foundries began producing arms and armor forged of iron, the likes of which we'd never seen. 'Twas a great boon to an already impressive army. Ere long they brought destruction to every corner of the realm. As I hear it, the Acefrosti army remains the most mighty on the continent. I pray that we're not about to relive that bloody age. Okay, is that everyone I can talk to? I don't remember if I went in here. Nope, definitely didn't go in here. Has the Crown City truly fallen? What madness is this? Mother's not herself today. Has something scary happened? Okay. Do believe, unless there's other places I can explore, I do believe that's everyone. Return to council chambers. Okay, so we're gonna save it here on both those slots, and then next episode we will try some options, and then based on how that goes, we might have a bonus episode where we try other options and see if we can get different outcomes in different battles. But we'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everyone.